Right, now, we are both a lover of the musical. We went to see a musical just this week.
We did.
It wasn't La La Land, it was something else. It was Sunny Afternoon.
It was Sunny
Which
Afternoon.
was awesome.
Yes.
Eventually. It was super like, whoa, hang on, I can't keep up with the story. Then it was, okay, I've got the story now. Can you hurry up? But then it was like, wow! So,
yeah, I think there were slight
it was a mixed
issues,
bag.
but other than that, it was fantastic.
It was brilliant. So, what we're going to do, I reckon, yeah, we've got time. I reckon we can dedicate the rest of it to our top 5.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you say your 5, then I'll do my 5, and then 4, then 3, 3, and 2, and 2, and 1. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Okay, so I asked you about a week ago to come up with 5 musicals, stage or screen, which is when you got arsey with me. Because they're so different experiences. It's not if you watch them on a big enough screen. Okay?
No, it's still a different experience. Because there are some where you enjoy the film but not the musical, or you enjoy the stage musical but not the film.
Mm.
And that proves that they are completely different experiences.
If they started as a stage show, that's the one you got to focus on.
You know what? I can't mix the two, so I'm just going to give you my 5 stage ones and forget films.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm not going to.
But you can mix yours.
All right, fine.
But I'm going to be a purist and I'm going to do stage shows.
Number 5.
So, number 5. This is really difficult because this could change on a daily basis. Because I've got like my top 4 and then the 5th one depends what mood I'm in.
Right. Your top 5 as of the 19th of January 2017.
So, right now, I'm going to go Blood Brothers.
Okay. This is when you say why.
Okay. I thought you were maybe going to ask me something about it. I've seen Blood Brothers a lot of times. I really like Willie Russell's writing anyway. I have done since.
Are they out?
Yes, it stems for most people from school. We did Educating Rita for GCSE. It's a play I still love now, and everyone focuses on Blood Brothers being such a sad, tragic story because you know from the outset that the 2 brothers are going to die. That's not a spoiler. It happens right at the beginning. But it's actually a really, really funny show, and there's a lot of great humour in it and some really great songs. And even though it is tragic, it's a fantastic night out, and I will go and see it again and again and again.
Yeah, I take issue with Blood Brothers.
What is your issue with Blood Brothers?
The issue is that it does stem from school, and so I can't now sit through it because it's been tainted by constant analytical viewings of it and going through the same thing that happened to Mice and Men for me, when you go through every single freaking line. It's like, why did the author put this? I don't know. Maybe he was drunk.
See,
happened a lot, but yeah, Blood Brothers for me.
Yeah, school spoiled some things for me in that respect. The constant analysis, but I don't know. There was something about Educating Rita, which was my first experience of his writing, that even though we were analysing it, it just really captured my imagination. I don't know whether it was because we didn't actually watch it in school, but I went away and watched the film.
Yeah. And
the film is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
And I just fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the way he writes and his style of humour. And so, yeah, that's what I really like about Blood Brothers as well.
Cool. Yeah, but Mice and Men, I do love the film with John Malkovich and Gary Sinise. That's fantastic. It's phenomenal. But the book can just go away now for life. I'm sick of it.
I've never read it.
No?
No.
I've got it somewhere, I'm sure.
We didn't do it. We did Children of the Dust.
I've never heard of that.
That's a book I would never, ever read again.
Okay. Yeah, it just ruins it, doesn't it? Right, my 5, going right in for the big guys, is Les Mis.
Okay.
Dropping it in there. It is an experience unlike any other going to see Les Mis. Not talking about the movie. I love the movie, but it's very divides people to a magnificent degree.
Including us.
Yes. Leave Russell Crowe alone. He had the intensity. All right, deal with it. The stage show is phenomenal. It just is. You know, there's no getting around it. It's a very obvious answer, I know, but There's no getting around the fact it is an incredible masterpiece. It is a piece of work that is astonishing and will go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. One issue with it is that I never want to see it again.
That's why I was surprised that you said that.
I love the music. The music is, it's timeless. It'll be around forever. My mum drilled it into my head when I was a kid. And, I've grown up listening to it. And when I finally saw it on stage, I knew every word. So it was fun in that sense. But yeah, it is I don't want to see it again purely because I do not want to put my heart and my mind through that again. It is too damn difficult to get through Les Mis without wanting to start your own revolution and to honour the dead that you just saw being slain right in front of you. I walked out of seeing it. It was only a few years ago. It was only about 4 or 5 years ago. It just popped off on this date, actually. It must have been quite recently. In years.
Yeah.
It was just, I walked out I was white. I was I can't. My mum was like, what do you think? I was I can't visually work out my mind right now. I'm going to have to sit on it for a few days. But yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, I never want to see it ever again. Any thoughts on Les Mis?
I love Les Mis. I'm not one of these. I mean, I have a friend who's been a ridiculous number of times and will keep going back and back. I'm not that obsessive. I don't need to go to every cast change. I have never experienced anything like Les Mis stage door cast change. It was. You'd think that, the Beatles were reincarnated or something. It was absolutely mental. But people do go that crazy for it. I mean, I met a girl there who had 2 copies of the book. One that she kept to read, and one that she kept for her all-time favourite cast members to sign. So you had to be pretty damn special to be allowed to sign this book.
I guess that's quite smart. At least you have a copy to read.
Yeah, but she was that obsessed with it.
That's pretty crazy.
I have a copy of the book. It's like a doorstop, and I have never even read the first page. I just thought, I'm going to do it. I never did.
No.
So I'm not that obsessive over it. It's not actually, spoiler, it's not going to be in my top 5. But, I mean, I saw it for the first time for my 18th birthday. And, yeah, it's something very unique and very special. And I
Didn't start in 1921. Come on. I'm getting a very dirty look.
Yeah, that doesn't really work across here, but...
Okay, you can probably hear my vaping pen. I apologise. There's not
Could
much.
you not just go for an hour without using it?
There's not much I can do about it.
Yes.
Number 4?
Number 4 is going to be Lazarus.
Wow! Right in there. In your top 5 of all time.
In my top 5 of all time.
Tell the people about Lazarus.
I find Lazarus really hard to describe because it's an experience. You don't often just get completely lost in a show like I did in that. For the whole thing, it was just... And you don't have to think about it. I mean, I heard a lot of people kind of analysing it as they came out. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to be lost in that reality, whatever it was, and just experience the whole show from that perspective. It doesn't matter if it's actual reality or some kind of delusional reality. That's the way you're supposed to experience it. And I just kind of, you just want to let it wash over you. And that sounds really weird, but you do. And the performances were absolutely incredible. There wasn't a bad performance in there.
Could you explain in 10 words what Lazarus is?
Well, Lazarus is the sequel to The Man That Fell to Earth. Written
by David Bowie.
Yeah, so it's Bowie's take on his character in that film several years on. And it's incredible. It is an experience, and it's something that everybody will see differently. And I think you've just got to, You can't now because it's sold out until the end of the run. But you've just got to immerse yourself in it and experience it for yourself.
But it is coming to DVD.
It is coming to DVD.
Which is very exciting because not many of them do. Not many tend to do that.
No, that's very true, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I saw Lazarus with you, as you know.
I do. Yes, you were sitting next to me.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was tremendous. It was terrific. Sophie-Anne Caruso was amazing.
Yes.
This 15-year-old who sang probably the greatest version of Life on Mars I've ever heard.
See, I wanted to see it because it's Bowie's kind of last offering to the world.
And you love Michael C. Hall.
And I do love Michael C. Hall, and I just the opportunity to see him in this country, I couldn't pass that up.
The guy that played Dexter was the lead in Lazarus. He played Thomas Newton. And
he was absolutely incredible, but it was Sophia-Anne Caruso that really blew me away. And just for the musical theatre geeks, it had Tom Parsons in it as well.
Hooray!
Who I love. So yeah, it was a really strong cast. Really strong cast.
Worked for you on many levels.
It did.
Do you have a favourite song?
Life on Mars.
Life on Mars.
Yeah, that just. It's not often that you get chills like that.
I love their version of Heroes too.
Yeah, I mean, there's all of the versions of the songs in that are fantastic, but there was just something extra special about Life on Mars.
I love Lazarus. You know that.
Yes.
I don't think it ever needed Valentine. I don't think it ever needed a villain. I think a story about Thomas Newton slowly descending into what he ended up as would have been far more interesting without the more deluge of characters that were kind of filling his apartment.
This is why I want to watch it again, because is Valentine even real?
Well, this is the thing. You don't know. We've got the book downstairs. You can read the book.
This is true. Well, I mean, it's just the script. Are you meant to know? This is what I mean about not.
It's just a script, which means it's the show.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Yeah, but there's no extra. It's not going to tell you anything more than we already saw. It's the lines that they delivered. But this is what I mean about not analysing it. Are we meant to know if he's real or not? Does it matter?
Is any of it real?
Yeah, exactly. It's all in his head. It's how he's seeing the world.
That's what I said.
To him, Valentine is real.
Yeah.
And isn't that all that matters? There's this weird bloke trying to kill people.
It is, but it just seemed. I'm not disputing the performance. It was great.
Yeah.
Everyone was terrific. It just when he was on stage, I was just sort of pining for Girl and for Thomas again.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I said to you when we came out, but who was he? What was he?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think he was real, but I think his the making the spaceship on the ground. Imagine how many times they have to do that. It's just insane.
Somebody's got to take it all up again
I know.
afterwards.
It's mental. Lazarus is terrific.
Yeah.
Get the soundtrack as well, because the soundtrack is astonishing. It was recorded the day that Bowie died, which is just amazing. That's not amazing, but you know what I mean. It gives it a little bit more of an edge.
Yeah.
Especially when you listen to something like Heroes.
It comes through how much they were feeling it.
Yeah, I could do a whole cast on Lazarus. Maybe we should someday.
Maybe we should.
Where are we? Number 4. Oh,
You're number 4.
God, we're dragging this out, aren't we?
You can edit it down, it's fine.
4 is Are They Out? By Willie Russell.
Is that a musical?
Yes!
Okay.
God. It's a musical.
So, having just gone on about how much I love Willie Russell, I had to ask you that question.
Yeah, it bloody should have been. I did it for GCSE drama. My GCSE drama was a musical, which was a wonderful thing. I played Mr. Briggs.
Okay.
And so that's why it has a very important place.
Yeah.
I played, not to brag, I played the lead in my GCSE drama play. Mr. Briggs, he was a very evil man. He wasn't an evil man, he was a very strict man. He had good intentions, but he didn't really know how to put them across. And yeah, I love that show. It didn't drain me like Of Mice and Men did, because you analyse the book in a different way because you've got to learn the script.
Yeah.
So you look at it from a completely different perspective.
You're looking at it as a performer, not as a literature analyst.
Indeed. I was 15, 16, I guess?
Yeah, you would have been.
Around about that time. And it was an education in learning lines. Christ almighty. Yeah, I had like 3 monologues. And there was that one scene where Carol, this is how long we worked on that scene. Carol was on top of the cliff. The girl that had a very bad home life, and she wanted nothing more than going away on this day trip with the kids. And it was like the best day of her life, but then everything sort of goes wrong, and she ends up getting very unstable, and she ends up at the top of a cliff, and it's up to Mr. Briggs to talk her down. And that scene, I love that scene so much, but fuck me, the amount of lines were unbelievable. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I guess because I don't hate it, because it was something that was from school that I went over and over and over like of Mice and Men, but I come out still really enjoying it. There was a film, there was no music in the film. It was just a straight telling of the book. That's
probably why I had to ask if it was a musical.
Yeah, it didn't start as a musical, but it's become one. It's wonderful. It was just really fun, you know? I really enjoyed it.
There is something about performing a show that makes it special to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I left Rent out of my top 5, but that could quite easily have been swapped with Blood Brothers, just because of my experience of actually being in it.
Yeah. It didn't happen with Little Shop of Horrors. I hate Little Shop of Horrors.
I've done Little Shop as well.
I was in it for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing. The chorus are like hardly on stage.
Yeah, I think I'm still a little bit bitter about that, because I went for the lead. This was after my Mr. Briggs. Didn't happen. I was furious.
Did you not want to be Audrey too?
No, I actually wanted to be the plant.
That's Audrey too.
That's that. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, that wasn't an option, sadly.
Oh.
No, it was being controlled by one of the teachers. So that was that. I would have been the plant. Would have been awesome.
So when we did it, Audrey 2 was being operated by the tech team.
Yeah.
But there was one guy that was the voice. An actor that was the voice. And I don't know if he did it from the lighting or where he was, off stage somewhere. And he just sang it all and did all the lines from somewhere else.
Well, the teacher was in the plant with a microphone.
Okay.
So he was pulling the strings and had a little mic and had the script in there as well. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was gutted because I really wanted to be the plant. I ended up being like boy number 2 or something stupid, and it just annoyed me.
See, our plant actually, when we got to the really massive one, it ate people. You'd think people actually disappeared inside it, so you couldn't have someone inside.
Sounds like you had a bigger budget than we did. Didn't even get a part in Guys and Dolls. Fucking Guys and Dolls. Screw that show.
Yeah, see, none of this was for school. We didn't do musicals at school.
Oh.
We barely did school plays. Here's your script for Our Day Out.
This is my script for Our Day Out. I literally just found it. I was just looking at it. Linda Croxley, and what sort of outfit is that supposed to be for a school visit?
I might have to read that at some point.
Ah, how random is that? Anyway, okay. Number 3.
Number 3. Is it my turn? It is my turn, yes. Number 3, Phantom of the Opera.
Ooh.
So I've grown up with musicals, going to musicals with my parents and stuff. It doesn't show, does it?
No.
And I wanted to see Phantom. I desperately wanted to see Phantom. I'd played the soundtrack over and over, and so for my 18th birthday, my parents and my nan and me all went off to London and did one of these coach trips. You go up, you see one show of the evening, stay overnight, see a matinee the next day, and then come home. So we did Phantom and Les Mis.
Wow.
For
the
my
top
18th,
2.
The top 2 in 2 days.
Jeez.
That's quite an emotional. But Phantom came first.
Yeah, that's like being punched in the face constantly for 24 hours.
Phantom came first. We saw that at the evening one when we arrived.
I would have done Les Mis first, I think.
Oh, it was the way it was.
Yeah.
You just book the coach trip and they arrange it all for you. So we saw Phantom in the evening, and it just, you were saying about thinking about things and things staying with you. It just had that effect on me, and it's so magical. And I've seen it several times since. I was at Phantom 25 in the Royal Albert Hall, and I've seen it again in the West End and on tour as well. And it never stops being magical. And yeah.
That's also my number 3.
It's also your number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purely because how important that show is to me. I've only seen it once again. You know. I had to see musicals. I was like, I've seen it, I've done it now. Don't need to see it again.
Yeah, you do need to see it in the West End because
I saw it on
only
tour
saw it on tour, didn't
Bristol.
you?
Yeah, it was still pretty great, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw it there and I saw it in Cardiff on tour.
But yeah, that show has gave me songs that got me jobs.
That's a good reason for choosing it.
No, it really is. The amount of times that I've sung Music of the Night to get me a job is quite phenomenal. I even sung it at Mecca Bingo.
I've seen the video of
Yeah,
that.
it's on YouTube, I think.
It is on YouTube.
Go and look for that. Yeah, it's fun. 11 years ago, that wasn't it? But yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's such a great show.
Yeah.
It's such a great show. I've never seen. I don't think I've seen it in its purest form.
No.
I haven't seen the chandelier shoot down, and I haven't seen.
To be honest,
all that shit.
The chandelier for me is the most disappointing thing in the West End.
You don't like La La Land? What do you know?
Only because it shot down. I think it was where we were sat the first time. It came flying over our heads, and then hovered above the stage, and then went back up again as the interval started. And it was just a little bit of a. I think if you sat in a circle and you're looking down on it, it's an amazing effect from the stalls in Majesty's Theatre in London. Yes. It's not as spectacular. Yeah, but there's other. The tour was very cleverly put together to be able to do it for touring and to be able to move the set around. But you still need to see it in the West End. The things they can do when it's static, obviously it makes a big difference. You can do a lot more than when you're trying to take it on the road. So they did it in a different way for the tour, which I think really worked, and it kept the magic, like with the wall, with all the bits, the steps coming out. None of that's in the West End production because it's done completely differently. But yeah, we have to see that in London. I will take you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those shows that does annoy me because I know that if I put my mind to it, I could probably play the Phantom myself one day, and it's like, you shouldn't be the Phantom. I should be the Phantom.
Yeah, because you don't like my favourite Phantom, do you? John Owen Jones.
Well, that guy. I don't dislike him.
You saw in Bristol.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that guy. Screw that guy.
He's my favourite Phantom.
I know.
I adore him.
I'll ask you a question about Phantom. Have you seen the film with Jared Butler?
I have seen the film. I saw it in the cinema.
What did you make of the film with Jared Butler? And their budget of about £5.
Yeah, it wasn't. There were a lot of things wrong with it that didn't need to be wrong with it. Continuity.
Did you like Jared Butler as the Phantom? I did. I thought he was awesome. He was so intense. And his voice was fantastic.
It wasn't a bad performance. It just hasn't stuck with me. But I mean, it's a long time ago since I saw it, and I haven't watched it again since I saw it because it didn't. It was okay. It didn't wow me. I thought it could be done better, and of course, by the time the film came out, I'd already seen Phantom on the West End, so it didn't compare for me.
What's your favourite song from Phantom?
Favourite song from Phantom? All I Ask of You.
My favourite is The Mirror, I think it's called. Or Mirror Reprise or something. It's like 20 seconds, but I love it so much. Insolent boy, the slave of fashion. I love it. It's like, it's such a great introduction. Obviously, Phantom of the Opera, the song, follows that. So it kind of gets a bit lost. But, I love that so much. I love that entrance. It's so much fun. And on stage, it's so much fun to sing as well. Basking in your glory. I love it.
It's hard to beat the original.
Oh,
Michael
God.
Crawford
Michael Crawford.
singing that particular bit.
Michael Crawford.
You hate Michael Crawford.
Let me tell you about the music video for Phantom of the Opera with him and...
Oh, with Sarah Brightman.
That's hard to watch.
Yeah, that's not great.
And he looks dead. He looks like an actual zombie. And the Phantom's not meant to look like a zombie. He's meant to be really rugged and handsome. Apart from the facing, obviously. Yeah. But, yeah. That's why... He
doesn't... And if you see a lot of the clips from the...
That's why I like Jared Butler, because he was a manly Phantom. very similar to Russell Crowe. I really didn't like the Javert on stage in Les Mis. His hair was really long, and I'd seen the film first before I saw the show.
Oh, okay.
So Russell Crowe was just in my head.
Yeah.
And I saw Javert, and he was this like really long haired, looked like fucking Joseph. And I was like, no, sorry, man. You know, I'm not feeling. He had a great voice, but it didn't work for me. Anyway, not talking about Les Mis, but Phantom. Oh, we had the same one. So,
Yes.
Number 2.
Number 2, nobody's going to have heard of. It's a musical called Ordinary Days.
Oh! Never heard of it. Tell me about it.
Ordinary Days is a four-hander.
What does that mean?
There's only 4 people in the cast.
Right, okay. Just to,
yeah.
Okay, obviously, I knew.
So it's just a cast of 4 people.
I didn't know. Go on.
And it's the story of it's this kind of snapshot of their lives. So you've got Deb and Warren, who become friends, and then you've got
I'm listening.
Jason and Claire, who are in a relationship, and the 2 sets of people don't know each other, but it's kind of how they're all just living in New York and how their paths cross without them really noticing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the stories of the 2 sets of people, and it's just one of these shows that you can really relate to.
Mm-hmm.
That there's going to be one of those 4 characters that you see something of yourself in. For me, it's Deb. If I could play any part in any musical, it would be Deb, because I am Deb, basically. So
God, there's 2 of you.
Her story is that she's... Well, there's a line in one of the songs that kind of explains why I related to it. So she's a graduate student, and she's... how's it go?
Does she look Red Dwarf?
No.
Does she wear bowler hats?
Forget the lyric. Basically, she's writing her thesis, and her laptop's about to die, so she's got a handbound book that she writes it all in, handwritten, full of bits of paper and stuff, and she loses it. At the time, I was a master's student. My laptop was dying, and I had a SpongeBob SquarePants notepad in my bag under the chair while I was watching it, because this book went everywhere with me, and I was writing my dissertation in it.
Oh, of course.
So when she says this unique approach may be a drag when you keep the whole thing in your bag and suddenly the goddamn thing's not there, I'm like, is it there? Is it really there? Mine was there. I never actually lost mine. But yeah, Deb's just whole attitude on life is kind of me. But there's a lot of really beautiful music in it, and because it's such a small scale show, you really relate to the characters. I mean, they address certain lines straight at you. They're looking at you in the audience, and yeah, it's something I would highly recommend if you ever get a chance to see it.
Okay.
So check it out. It's not one that's particularly well known, but you really should see it. Everyone should see it, and it will make you cry.
Okay, good. Good. I just watched Master Chef Junior, and that nearly made me cry. So.
You've got no hope.
Not so much.
With this. For anyone who's seen it, you'll know exactly the song and the moment that I'm talking about. I mean, I saw it twice within quite a short space of time. Second time I knew exactly what was coming, I still gone.
Number 2 for me.
Yes.
Gonna break tradition and throw Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Because it's a masterpiece.
It is. I can't disagree with
It's
you.
an absolute work of art.
It would be my number 1 film.
Is Moulin Rouge your number 1 film of all time?
Number 1 musical film, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Actually, probably number 1 film of all time.
Ah, okay. It's pretty much perfect.
Yes.
I don't think there's very little that you can argue is wrong with that film, if anything. The fact that you know... Spoilers. Moulin Rouge has been out for a long time now.
Yeah, I think you can spoil Moulin Rouge for people.
I mean, well, no. I mean, you start the film and Satine's dead.
Yeah.
You meet miserable Ewan McGregor on his typewriter, and so you know throughout the movie that this horrible tragedy is coming, and yet you're fucking smiling the entire way through because it's so amazingly put together. The music is phenomenal. The use of licensed music is amazing. Probably the best ever in any movie. Like a Virgin. incredible.
Roxanne.
Feel so good inside. Roxanne, incredible. Smells Like Teen Spirit. You know, Jim Broadbent, just as a whole in that film, is utterly stunning. Probably.
There's not a bad performance in it.
No, there isn't really. No, it's Moulin Rouge. It's as perfect as a musical movie as you could ever wish to want, and it's not on stage yet, and I don't think
it's meant to
can be done.
It's gonna happen. News articles have been going around again. End of last year, but that's happened before. It's gonna happen, and then it never does.
But what an undertaking that's gonna be. To get the same feel as well, you know, the audiences are gonna have to be given some kind of drug.
Yeah, I mean,
to enjoy Moulin Rouge properly.
Swooping camera effects and
They're gonna need little Kylie Minogue.
Everyone needs a little Kylie Minogue.
I'd have to have a little green fairy follow me around everywhere. That'd be great. Come What May is just perfect.
Adore that song.
Another song, his version of Your Song is one that I've used for auditions as well. It's very handy. Thank you for that, Ewan McGregor. Love you, man. May the force be with you. That's a reference because he's also Obi-Wan Kenobi in those amazing Star Wars movies.
His voice, the first time I saw it, came as quite a surprise. He can sing.
Yeah, he can sing, for sure. But yeah, I mean, in terms of musicals as a whole, they don't get much better than Moulin Rouge. No. Except for my number one, obviously.
Okay, intrigued now.
Moulin Rouge is just, I think people who claim to not like musicals even love Moulin Rouge. I know people that wouldn't normally be into that sort of film. Like Moulin Rouge, because it's such a spectacle.
Yeah.
Because you can't take your eyes off of it all the way through, It's an incredible work of art, and is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Masterpiece beyond any recognition. So yeah, that's my number 2. So, Jacqueline Sarah Onions, born 1824.
Okay.
In a hut in Belgium. Is that
awesome?
Is that right?
No.
Oh, okay. I was near. What is your number 1?
My number 1 musical is Avenue Q.
Avenue Q?
Avenue Q.
Are you serious?
I am absolutely serious.
Okay, no, it's your choice.
Avenue Q for me it's not just a show, it was part of my life. That sounds quite pretentious. But
it was part of me.
No, not if you've seen Avenue Q, it's not that kind of show at all.
No, okay. I saw it with you.
It is hilarious, which is the main reason for loving it. But I saw Avenue Q. I've seen it 3 times in the West End, and then 3 times on tour. So I've seen it 6 times.
Thank you.
But it's weird to explain to anyone that hasn't been part of. Before I say I'm part of the fandom, I'm not one of these people that's like seen it once a week every week for months.
People do that to Les Mis.
People do that.
That's frightening.
That's weird. I'm not that level of fandom, but I would say that I was part of the Avenue Q fandom for the West End show. In the I've met stage door, met some of the cast. I've made friends at Avenue Q stage door. Some of my closest friends now. I've met through Avenue Q.
Were they puppets?
No, not puppets. Real people. Interestingly enough, the same person that thought the same about La La Land as I did. So, yeah, I have friends through it. I've had random Twitter conversations with the cast. I've discovered West End performers who actually I really love and have checked out some of their other stuff and their recording work as well as their musicals through seeing them in Avenue Q first, like Tom Parsons, who we saw in Lazarus. I first saw him as understudy Trekkie Monster. He was on. Then I saw him again because he'd taken over fully as Trekkie Monster. So yeah, Avenue Q, and it's one of these shows that you can relate to, although it's a comedy and it's puppets and it pushes things to the extreme. There are kind of bits of everyday life in there that you can look at and yeah.
No, I get you. I love it too. It's great.
Everything in life is only for now. It's just, yeah.
I very much enjoyed Avenue-Q.
Unfortunately, you didn't see it at its best either, because the tour that's going around at the moment is not as good.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
As
yes,
the
but
original
you
tour.
didn't see it right.
No, I'm not. I think
Sorry.
it's hard for you.
You took me.
It's hard for you to know quite why I love it so much, having not seen the versions of it that I've seen.
Well, I can only go on what I saw.
Yeah, exactly.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was very, very funny. Very, very funny. Very, very gross. It's almost as, it's got that Trey Parker kind of feel.
Yeah.
Even though it's obviously nothing to do with Trey Parker.
No, it's that kind of humour though.
The other show has, that I still haven't seen. Bloody show. But yeah, I really enjoyed that night out at Avenue-Q. It was hilarious. And they raise money for charity every night, which is a wonderful thing. I love that.
Oh, the money song.
Yeah. I dig that. That's cool.
I've actually booked on different aisles to see different characters going up and down during the money song.
I'm sure you have. Wow, you prefer puppets banging on stage to Lazarus. What would David Bowie think of that? Although that scene is very funny.
This is the other thing I love about Avenue-Q is I've taken people who've never seen it. I like doing that because if you listen, having seen it, you can hear kind of two distinct things in the audience. There's the people that are giggling because they know what's about to happen, and then the newbies who are laughing because it's just happened. So there's kind of two waves of laughter throughout. But the third time I saw it, in the last week that it was in London before it closed, that still genuinely makes me sad. I went with a friend of mine.
We saw it in Cardiff. It was just down the road.
Yeah, but
it's not the same.
It's not. It's really not.
It's not the same. That's what your voice sounds like in my head, by the way. I don't know if I've ever told you that.
Again, I'm sure there's plenty of Avenue-Q fans that will back me up. I mean, the tour, the first tour, well, the first two times I saw it on tour after it closed in the West End was fantastic, and that's how I discovered Chris Thatcher as my absolute favourite Trekkie monster, and I still have random Twitter conversations with him.
Was it better than the Shawshank Redemption? Avenue-Q on tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The play, not the film.
That. Yes.
Just trying to think of plays I've seen that the new I could compare it to.
Well, this is a musical, isn't it? I thought we were talking musicals.
Yes, we are. Plays is a whole different thing.
But yeah, so I took my friend to see it the last time I saw it in the West End, and we got to the interval, and she just turned to me and went, "There's Muppet sex," and she was genuinely shocked, and that's what I love about it.
It was pretty intense as well. They weren't messing around. They were not messing around. Yeah, it was a great show. All right, interesting. Number one. What
about you?
It's time for my number one.
It is time for
my number one musical of all time. It's easy.
Okay.
Once.
Doesn't surprise me.
Had to be.
Yeah.
What I love about it more than anything is its simplicity. The fact that it's one set, more or less.
Yeah.
Single piano. Every single person on that stage plays an instrument throughout. They're all on stage the whole way through. They're all part of it. It is a real ensemble show. They're not on off stage all the time. They may not be in a scene, but they're on stage somewhere. And the music, man. My God. It's the best. It's the best music in any musical. There, I've said it. All right? You can deal with that, Cameron McIntosh. It is.
It is. It's stunning.
We saw it in London with our boy Rory, with the Arthur Darvill, which was a big draw, obviously being Doctor Who fans, myself. And I was like, oh, Rory's in this show that I wanted to see. And then you got tickets, and we arrived, and it was quite a quiet show. Was it matinee?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and so we got pushed to the front, which was lovely. And
ridiculously upgrade.
It was just a live show. We just went to a live gig. But it had this wonderful story being told through it. It's so simple. The characters don't even have names. And that's what it's like there's no focus on that. You've got to focus on the music. And the music is incredible. If You Want Me, Falling Slowly, obviously. It's based on the film, which they made in Ireland for what looks about £25.
But it's still a really lovely film, isn't it?
And ended up winning the Oscar for Best Original Song, which is just phenomenal. For Falling Slowly. Glenn Hansard, the whole soundtrack. The way they adapted it as well for a stage show. Like that, the very opening song, that's nowhere to be seen in the film. But it fits a musical telling of that. Because it opens it up, and then there's another one right at the end as well.
Mm.
And that final Falling Slowly when everyone joins in. The a cappella version of Gold. Oh my god. It's, how do you explain it? It's an acoustic folk story. It's not a traditional musical in any sense. You see the posters and they call it a new musical. And it is. Because there's no big kind of anthemic moments. Defying Gravity's not going to be in once anywhere, But it's not really that sort of show. It's so small and it's so intimate that it does feel like just a gig down the pub, And it is a pub because during the interval you can go on stage and actually drink from the bar, which was a wonderful thing.
That's very much how it starts as well, though, isn't it? Because as you're taking your seats,
they're doing
cast are
just having a jam session on stage.
It's like going into a folk session in a pub. Where everyone's just playing and taking it in turns to sing songs, and it just kind of slowly becomes the show.
Yeah. Then he starts playing Leave, and the show begins.
Yeah.
And I've always studied music quite intently, Phantom and Les Mis and stuff. But I haven't listened to it to the extent that I've listened to once. I can listen to that album again and again and not skip a track. Just really love it, Oh, broken-hearted Hoover fixer, sucker guy. It's great.
It did amuse me because I'd seen it already when we went together, and of course I knew that this kind of jamming session was going to be going on the stage, and I'm trying to hurry you into the auditorium. It's like, you're going to want to go in there, and you're like, come on, let's look at the merchandise.
I wanted the t-shirt.
I know. I couldn't get you to understand why you really needed to take your seat as quickly as possible because of what you were missing. But when you got in there, you were just kind of blown away immediately, weren't you?
Pretty much. It was magic, and it just hit me in all the right places. And it's not as visually spectacular as Phantom or Les Mis and Moulin Rouge. It's not that epic, but it's so different to those, and
that's its beauty, I think.
Yeah, that's why it's so interesting. That's why those are the musicals that I love from now on. I'm never going to see Wicked. 'Cause it doesn't interest me at all. Nothing about it screams, Ross, you need to see this. It's like, no, I don't. Nothing. Once is interesting because it's unique, and that's why I like Sunday Afternoon, and that's why I like Lazarus. When they blend, more indie and alternative sounds with the musical aesthetic, that's why I like that. That's cool. I'm not going to go see Singing on the Rain on stage ever.
I think there's a place for those.
Pride and Prejudice of the musical.
No.
If that ever happens, which it probably wasn't. But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. They don't fill me up with joy anymore because I've just now discovered this new world.
There's this edgy, exciting, and that's what I like.
Except the commitments. Fuck that. But Once is my number one show because it's pure joy. Any honourable mentions you want to throw out quickly that almost made your top 5 but didn't? Not going to go into big detail, but any titles?
Well, I've already mentioned Rent.
121,604.
Once was one that I was tying with as well. Like I said, that last spot, Wolf Boy. That's one that nobody else will have heard of. But again, you're talking the edgier. That's actually a play with songs rather than a musical. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. But that's seriously dark. There's a few. It changes. What about you?
West Side Story.
Okay.
Very traditional, very classic, but the music's wonderful. Music's amazing. You can't fault West Side Story for Sunset Boulevard.
Never seen Sunset Boulevard.
No, I haven't actually seen it, but I don't know if I can really use it. But the music was on in my house for decades, and so it's locked in. And I never disliked it. It was always fun. Joseph, obviously.
Yes.
Joseph was the first musical I ever saw.
I don't know what my first musical was.
I still can't remember if it was Jason Donovan or Philip Schofield. I genuinely can't remember.
I think your mum said it was Philip Schofield, but I wouldn't swear to that.
I want to say I saw Philip Schofield on the show, but I had the Donovan soundtrack.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, because I think Schofield only released a single. He didn't do the whole soundtrack.
That sounds right to me.
I hate you. I would have loved to have seen Philip. I was a massive Philip Schofield fan as a child because I loved going live.
I don't even remember it, so don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure last year you went to Edinburgh Fringe and saw Colin Mockery in a show without me.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah.
My first West End show was Starlight Express. That's another one that nearly kind of made it.
God, that doesn't appeal to me at all. Never has done. I've never heard the music to it at all.
I think the way to see Starlight is the way I saw Starlight when it was static in London before it started touring, because they had a track that went through the audience. So to have them racing past you at high speed is something you don't forget when you're only 9.
I want to do a shout out to South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut. The South Park movie is one of the best musicals of all time. Have you ever seen it?
I'm not sure I have, actually.
Blame Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have.
It's easy, it's just magic. Especially when you're 13 and you're dying to go and see it. So your mum takes you to see South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut. And it's just full of dildo jokes and Satan anally grooming Saddam Hussein. My dear mother. God bless her. I think she enjoyed it, but she'd never admit it.
I saw Rocky Horror for the first time with my nan, so...
Nice. I've never seen Rocky Horror. I've got nothing to say about it. Not on stage, at least. Film musicals? Yeah, South Park. Team America, Noah Trey Parker. Masterpiece. Which isn't a musical, but it's got original songs in it throughout. I mean, you can jump into Disney ones, but that's a whole different topic, I think.
Yeah. A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes! Oh my god! Of course! Oh, that fucking movie. I love it so much.
That would have been in my top 5 films.
Oh, that's in my top 10 for sure. Oh. I love that movie. Good shout. Trying to get some inspiration, but there's nothing here. There isn't a Batman musical yet.
No.
There was a Spider-Man.
There was Spider-Man.
Don't talk about it, anyway.
I'm trying to think what my films were. 5 would have been Muppet Christmas Carol. 4, I think, was High Society. Oh, Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra singing.
Yeah,
Did you ever? It's an absolute classic. It's beautiful. I'm skipping 3 because I can't remember what it was. 2 would have been Labyrinth. No, sorry, 3 was Labyrinth. 2 was Singing in the Rain. 1 was Moulin Rouge.
Ah, okay. We get on Moulin Rouge.
Yes.
God help the person who puts that on stage.
They've got a lot to live up to.
They're going to have... It's going to have to be the most expensive thing ever made. We're talking like on a bigger scale than Harry Potter. That's what it needs in order to be authentic.
It needs to be very cleverly done.
I think the guy who did Potter should probably get on that. Because that's the guy that they're going to need. Whoever designed the stage for Harry Potter, which is fucking magical. How they... It still boggles my mind. I still can't believe I saw some of the things that I saw on that stage. And it's like... And the people there, the tech guys, that's their job. It's their day job now, just to do all this shit. And it's like second nature. And it's like, how do they do these things? Anyway. Well, I guess that's it.
I guess so.
Thank you very much indeed, Jacqui.
You're welcome.
I hope you've had fun.
I have, yeah. It's been interesting.
Good. Well, this has been episode 1 of Micstand, which is now over. I'm looking forward to this. I know it's done. But thank you very much indeed. It's been a joyous thing. And if you like this, do subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Podbean, It is going to be on iTunes at some point. I will get that taken care of. Just got to work out the correct one to do. It's very complicated and fiddly, but it will be there soon.
And this will make no sense once it's actually on iTunes.
No. If you listen to us on iTunes, hooray! I worked it out! Yay! I'm so clever.
It's like being on Dave, isn't it?
Yeah. If you are listening to this whilst on the subscription to YouTube, hi, thanks. We fixed it. Fantastic. I don't know when it will be, but it will be at some point soon. So that's it really. Join me again next week. Follow us on Twitter at Micstand Film and follow me at Rossko. Again, I'll put that in the ad section. I'm not going to write it out now. You're not going to remember it. You can follow Jacqui at Jacqui_Onions. Lots of theatre-based wonderment.
Yes.
She tweets. Also for Hijinx Theatre. Doing Hijinx things. Meet Fred's going on tour.
It is tomorrow. It'll be a night.
Yeah. So you're plugging Meet Fred. See? That's what you were here for the whole time.
I didn't mention Fred. You did.
Yeah. I just saw your top. Still in your work uniform.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So Meet Fred's a wonderful tour. Wonderful show. And it's going on tour. So check your local listings. Because it's generally... I'm biased, obviously, so take this with a grain of salt if you want. You don't have to believe me, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Really, really good laugh.
Or you can believe the 5-star reviews that we got in Edinburgh.
Oh, shit! Drop the mic! Actually, don't drop the mic. Grand. Well, thank you very much. And until next time, bye! I'm not going to finish like that. Bye! No. Until next time, bye-bye.